a easy card to make with scraps, with favorite colors, your design with a few stamp sets from Stampin' Up! And some bright, cheerful colors today. This card is made with our Tasteful Textures stamp set. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so you will see that today the items that we use are Stampin' Up! Products. That doesn't mean you can't use your own paper. You'll see that I have basic primary colors that we use today. So if you have red paper, yellow paper, blue paper, and white paper, and red ink and yellow ink and blue ink, and this is gray, but you can use navy, maybe a black, whatever you'd like to make this card. It says the best thing about today is you. And I think that's a great saying and a great card to send to a friend or a family member who just needs some words of encouragement. Right now, again, as we're going through our coronavirus season, right now that is super helpful to just have words of encouragement. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card base and I'm going to fold it in half. This card base is 4 1/4 by 11 1/2 long. And I'm going to just fold it. Now you can use your paper craft cutting tool that has a scoring blade on it, or a bone folder, whatever you like to use to score your paper. So that's my first step, is I just take my base and I fold it in half. I'm going to set that aside. Now I have already cut a piece of red paper. This is our lovely lipstick, and I cut it at 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to bring in my stamped one of my images from our set. I'm going to just leave that, I think, right there. You can see. So I'm going to use this stamp right here. I already have it mounted on my block, and I have it ready to ink up and stamp. When I have a little stamp pad like this guy, I like to use this upside down to where I really see that I get my image inked up well. Oftentimes too, I'll practice on my scrap paper that I have below and make sure that I get a good image that way. I am going to stamp this image over on the right hand side of my card, and I'm going to stamp it 3 times. And it looks like I may have it upside down actually, but this stamped image is really just to give detail to the card, so no one's gonna notice whether it looks upside down or not, truthfully. I am also not someone who stamps to perfection. In my way of crafting, which I love to craft in lots of different ways, not just paper, but I will say I think paper is one of my favorite ways to stamp. You know what, guys? I don't know if there is. I think it really just depends on what looks up or down to you. That's great. All right, so I have stamped it 3 times onto my red piece of paper. Again, this is our lovely lipstick. If you are a Stampin' Up! Person, if you just have red at home, great. So now I'm going to attach my red piece to my card base. This is just some double stick adhesive that we do sell again at Stampin' Up! You can buy adhesive from most craft stores, I think probably all craft stores, or even an office supply store. So now we have the base of our card ready to go. Now we're going to stamp our other images that are going to go along. So I'm going to move that aside. I'm going to stamp on my yellow scrap of paper. This is So Saffron for those of you who are Stampin' Up! People, and I'm using my Stampin' Up! Saffron stamp pad. This again is one of the images from our texture set, and I already have it on the block. So when I say I already have it on the block, it's because the images in our sets come unmounted like this. So it comes like this, I should say. And you are going to need some acrylic blocks. You're going to put your stamps on the acrylic blocks, and then you're going to ink them up that way. So those are the steps I've already done. All right, so now we have our yellow paper ready to go. So I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to stamp on our blue. This is our pool party stamp pad, pool party paper. Again, that's one thing I love about Stampin' Up! Is our colors are coordinated. I don't have to guess which blue or yellow is going to match. I already know. So there's our blue piece ready to go. Now now I am going to put my words. Now what I've done to make the word piece is I used our punch. Let's see if I wrote down the name here for myself. This is our tailored tag punch. Again, let's say you don't have this. This has got angles on it, so you can cut your paper and trim it that size if you want. I've gone ahead and punched this out previously, so I've got it ready to go. These words are from our Well Said set. So all of these components come from our Tasteful Textures. The words I am getting from our Well Said set, and it has a lot of words and things to use. I really enjoy this set. So we're going to put this on here, which says the best thing about today is you. And I'm going to stamp this on my pre-punched piece of paper. All right, this is, you guys can see this is really an easy, fun card to make. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create this fun doily looking image. These are with our dies that Stampin' Up! Sells. So I'm going to slide these over here. We have our circle dies right here, and then we have our dies. Oh, here it is. I have our circle dies, and then we have our Tasteful Textures dies that match the set that we're using. Okay, so we're going to use this fun little flowered image, and we're going to use this circle. I'm going to move these guys aside. And I have my piece of paper that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm going to put my circle down, then I'm going to put my image inside there, and then Post-it notes. Girls, you got to know, I use Post-it notes all the time to stamp with. So I'm going to put my Post-it note here to hold these two pieces together, and I'm going to run it through my die machine. Now our die machine is this big guy. I shouldn't say ours. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have one right now in their catalog, but you can find this big shot at many different craft stores. So I earlier went ahead and ran mine through that and got this image. All right, let's say though you don't have those. I bet you have a doily or some pretty paper at home, something that you can use to use instead. Be creative. That's one thing that's so fun about stamping and just crafting, is you get to be creative and make designs that are fun for you. All right, so now we're going to put the rest of our pieces together. The reason I didn't adhere these pieces as I was stamping is I really kind of like to mess with the placement a little bit. So if I look at my sample, I angled this card, then I placed this guy, and then think about maybe where you want your flowers to line up. So I know on this one you can see I put one flower right up on top. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that again or if I want to change it up a little. You know what? I'm going to just change it up because I can. So I'm going to put my kind of flowered image there. I'm going to put my blue this way. And, oh, you can see, girls, like when I use scrap paper, I'm not kidding. This is a scrap of piece of paper that I used earlier. Obviously, I didn't like what I was doing, but I saved my scrap. And here it works great for a punch. So then I'm going to figure out if I like my punch. See, I don't like those flowers that way. So I'm going to put it back. I think I like it better with the flower on the top part. I kind of get this how I want it. Yeah, that looks good. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach all my pieces. So let me do that really quick. We're going to use adhesive. This is double-sided adhesive. So you probably have some of that at home in your craft supplies. If not, again, an office supply store, a crafting store, again, Stampin' Up! Store, wherever you shop. Oh, look, another scrap piece of paper from another project. I do save my scraps. This is our dimensionals. It's just some foam tape. It's going to raise up my saying just a little bit. These are called Stampin' Dimensionals. I think you can buy like foam tape or something at other places. So I'm going to attach that. And then we've got to add a little bling, right? So you'll see that I added these fun enamel dots. You guys, I use the word fun a lot. I apologize for that. So these enamel images we're going to now attach to our card, and 3 always looks great to the eye. So again, we're going to use 3 wherever you like them. You know, I used a heart here. I think I'm going to use a star. So I'm going to put my star right here under U, and I'm going to put, yeah, I think I'm going to put the big guy up here, and this guy here. If you have rhinestones, there's a lot of different things you might have in your collection of things you can use to make your little card fun and special. You guys, there's our card. I hope you had fun. I really enjoyed this card. I hope to get it sent out pretty quick to encourage someone, let them know that I care about them and I'm thinking about them. If you are interested in purchasing any of the items that you saw me use today, go check out my email address. It's going to take you to our Stampin' Up! Store, and you can go shopping there. You can use this hostess code if you would like. It is good through the beginning of May. This hostess code just helps you get your order shipped straight to your house, and it shows that I'm the demonstrator you chose to purchase your projects. So I hope you're having a great day. Enjoy some crafting time. And again, sending out a little card to encourage someone that you love. Have a great day.